Because right now, Sentinel extremely stun heavy, and as we see a dive going in, 40 anti-mage silence, and he goes down, and this is the problem. It looks like Puck is trying to get a tower. He's not going to get a tower going on, and really well kind of teleportation coming, getting themselves a double kill, a return kill on the Dusa, and the tower deny as well. That's huge. And here's a comment. Here's one of the constructive criticism my viewers will give to me. They said, Luminous, you will always say that's huge, but you will never explain why that's huge. Okay, I'll explain why that's huge. Getting a tower deny, you get basically half, the income of the enemy team. That's a huge fact. Number one, as he blinks into the tornado, that's cool. And getting a double kill like that will not just make Dusa lose gold. That's definitely a huge part of it, but slowing down her farm. That's the even bigger part of it. I mean, let's say if I was given a choice to lose 200 gold and then was allowed to continue farming or spend 40 seconds into the fountain but not lose any gold, I will always choose the first one, because you will always farm a lot more than 200 gold in 40 seconds. You go up to like 400 gold if you last it well, if you go on your teleportation scrolls, etc, etc. Keep in mind that you're also getting in things like experience. You're also doing things like getting experience. That's what I'm trying to say. But you guys know what I mean. Like it hurts to lose gold, but the thing it hurts the most is actually stopping your farm, and that's why it was so huge that Earthshaker got a double kill at the bot lane, denied the tower for his team. And especially you gotta keep in mind that Scythe is a very early game team, or very mid game team. Yes, they do have the anti-mage, but anti-mage, as I suggest in my past commentary, anti-mage is gonna have a Rainbow supremacy. As soon as he picks up his BKB, he's gonna be really strong. But you gotta keep in mind that once that BKB runs to 6-7 second charges, he is not going to be as strong as before, and that Dusa is only going to get stronger because he's not dependent on BKB. As we see Shaker blinks in, is he going to get a good fisher? No, they're going to just stop because these guys are going to just turn back. Still, this Lich build is quite interesting. Interesting in the sense that I wouldn't have done it, but I can see why it's working. As we see even more teleportation going mid lane, Tinker's just being annoyance everywhere he goes. He does have the Mystic Staff, but this is not, we won't know whether he's going to go Shivas or or Hex until he picks up his next item. As we see Anti-Mage farming around, he still doesn't have, I wonder what he's picking up. Oh, there we go, the item, there is an Ogre Axe, so yes, that is going to be a BKB. You can see that, yes, he did pick up a Battle Fury first, and yes, that is helping out his damage, regen, and creeping in just a bit, but he also traded a couple deaths to it. I think if he had Vanguard, he would not have died as much as 4 times, especially against this kind of lack of nukage team coming from the Sentinel in the early game. Vanguard would have been a very smart buying choice, but also maybe Yamate felt like, well, Sentinel's not that hard of a nuking team, so I probably can get away with it, but definitely that Puck made him pay. I think Puck killed him like at least 3 times out of the 4, so really well done, Puck. And these guys, both teams are just farming, and I guess that's okay. I mean, it's definitely Sentinel's game plan to just farm. They do have the Dusa, and Dusa is just a farming hero. And I mean, this is gonna suit their playing style, because Invoker is a very late game hero in that regard, that he really needs an EXP. So they're okay to farm. But right now, I think MUFC should be feeling the pressure coming from this from the Scourge. Just sooner or later, they're gonna start looking for a push. No, a big team fight going to mid lane here. EMP Tornado already dropped down, and that's doing a lot of hurt on the Witch Doctor, on the Shaker, on the Lich, which right now does not have a lot of mana. As we see this, this Venge is definitely gonna go down. Venge is gonna drop a magic missile. It's gonna die to that Maledict to the face. No, dies to. Oh no, there we go. Roy picks up a kill with the Maledict, and looks like we're gonna have a mid push going on. No, Puck is just flying around. I think they're trying to get a kill. No, they're not gonna try to get a kill. And are they gonna turn back? They might, yeah, they might just turn back. Now, one smart thing for the Sentinel, for the Scourge to do right now is to go straight for the rush. You can see that they do still have the mid tower up, so the reinforcement point, it's very close. Let's say if there's a big Roche battle breaking out, people can buy back and teleport back, or if people just respawn back, they could just teleport back. Meanwhile, the Sentinel does not have this luxury, as their 2 exterior towers are going down. Also, the creep wave is quite pushed right now, so they can just inch into the Roshan pit and just take the Roshan. And also, they do have a Frost Armor, and that will deal quite a bit. That will slow down Roshan's DPS quite a bit. So it's a little bit interesting that they're not doing it. And also, Tinker is a very good Roche hero, not because he can, put down minus armor on the Roche, or not because he can, do a lot of DPS to the Roche, but because he can just teleport around, push your waves, and make you defend the other lanes instead of, jumping your Roche. So it's quite surprising that Scythe is not going for the Roche. It looks like we are going to see a Hex first on the Tinker. Very, very kind of a, I guess, a standard. Standard in this game, I suppose. And also, I want to point out this Soul Ring. Ooh, Soul Ring! Ooh, well, Tinker almost got Cyclone. Yeah, Soul Ring Tinker is definitely very, very good. Ooh, Blink Dagger on the Lich. I'll get into that a little bit later. A Soul Ring Tinker definitely very good. That gives you at least 2 or 3 extra rearms. Because you could rearm the Soul Ring as well, and then just use it again, and then rearm, and then use it again. And especially when you have level 1 rearm, that's like a free rearm basically. So, minus 150 HP, of course. But a Blink Dagger Lich, quite interesting. I'm not too sure whether they need it, especially when your Shaker does have the Blink Dagger already. So, the Shaker could blink in and kill all the creeps, and then you just Chain Frost. Chain Frost, it's a pretty good casting range spells. And I don't feel like you, as a Lich, you need a positioning of the Blink Dagger. I just don't feel like you need it. If you want to have a good positioning item, just go Force Staff. It's definitely a lot more versatile in terms of you can use it on the teammate as well. But so I'm not really agreeing with this with this with this Blink Dagger. Especially when they have an Invoker, I would think going in for a Pipe is going to be more effective in terms of helping out a team. But looks like there's a lot of teleportation going in. Both teams are kind of dilly-dallying, and this is definitely going to favor the favor the Sentinels playing style more. Again, because they're more later game, and also you got to keep in mind that the Witch Doctor is basically a non-factor as this game progresses longer and longer. Yes, Maledict is good if you land it, but really, there we go. Blink Dagger trying to initiate by the lucky Tornado. It looks like, there is going to be an epic Chain Frost. No Chain Frost. So they're not even going to cast a Chain Frost. Chain Frost probably on cooldown. Shaker doing absolutely like a beast. But BKB already farmed on the Sven. You can see that the farming is not going to pay off. 40 Scourge, excuse me. They actually allow the Sven to farm out for a BKB, and that's huge because you never ever see. When you pick up a Sven, you don't expect him to do anything outside of the lane. It's like kind of picking up the Witch Doctor. You expect him to be a good laning hero, but that's it. And Sven is kind of, you hold Sven to kind of the same expectation. Yeah, it's good if he picks up a Blink Dagger and BKB, but you don't expect him to do it. And now that because they're farming so much, Sven can allow to get it, and that's going to just ease off the pressure on the Dusa so much. Suddenly you're seeing extra 100 or 200 DPS coming from Sven, and that's the DPS that you don't want to deal with. You're already going to have a Dusa to worry with for quite a bit. But luckily for the Scourge, they do have the Hex finished. So if I were a Scythe right now, I would just, once Yamate picks up his BKB, which he does have right now, just go for a hardcore mid push. Your hero's pretty much as strong as it gets. Of course, if let's say Anti-Mage picks up a MKB or a Butterfly, of course he's gonna get a lot stronger. But in this moment in time, in terms of the ratio of growth compared to the Dusa, you're as strong as you could get. You got Hex on your Tinker, you got your BKB Battle Fury on your Anti-Mage. That's pretty good already. You got your Blink Dagger on both Lich and the Shaker, and of course your Witch Doctor is not going to get anything. You might as well go for a big hard push right now, especially when you have good mid-game AoE ult, such as the Echo Slam, such as the Chain Frost. If I was a Hi, I would have been screaming all mid right now. But I am not Hi, and Hi knows this game a lot better than I am. Maybe he's seeing, he's having the confidence in Yamate's late game carry potential, and decide they're gonna take a late game against the Dusa. I don't recommend it, but like I said earlier, there's many different ways to play Dota, and whether we'll see Hi, this is the quote-unquote correct way, or the best way to play it in this case. But if you see Mantis Style on the Gorgon finish, and an Eagle Horde, that is just insane farm. 35 minutes, this is some ZSMJS farm here. This is, what, 300 creep kills in 35 minutes? That is just insane. We're approaching 8 and 9 creep kills, and this is what I mean about the Dusa. It's okay to lose 200 gold on a death, but it's not okay to lose farm time. As we see a kill going on. Man, Koi is just absolutely everywhere, picking up a double kill on the Invoker and the Puck. So this is going to force the Dusa to teleport back, and this is also going to force the Venge and Sven to teleport back. No, they're not going to TP back, and actually they're going to lose 2 towers right now. In the span of 2 minutes, we could see a Scourge turning the game around. I definitely thought they were a little bit in the behind, but now they're going to get a tower at the bot and a tower in the mid lane, and that's 5 tower down for, well, if they push for it. No, they're actually going to TP back to defend. I'm not too sure whether this was the best choice. I think trading 1 tower for 2 is definitely a better choice. No, they're going to go for the Juice. Juice actually do so much damage with the split shot. He is Hex, but he's like, whatever, I just right click. I don't care if I'm Hex. I have Mana Shield up. Anti-Mage can't even withstand the Juice right click damage. Frost Armor a lot. Frost Armor or not, actually Lich is going to blink in. They are going to find themselves a Venge, and that's kind of a consolation prize. And actually Koi picks up another kill. I'm not too sure whether all these kills going to Koi is actually a good thing, but you know, he is going to go for his Aga Stick, which I'll get into it just a little bit later. And they're going to try to get a push. They do have a lot of blinkers. Yeah, Team Blink. And they're going to try to pick up the Sven. There is a 1 teleportation going in. That is the buck. He will have the Dream Coil. And he, oh, Yamato doing some quick block. But good blink going in. Dream Coil. And no, a Fisher blocking. And that puck might be in trouble. Are we going to have a good Meteor EMP Tornado? Any kind of a big AoE spell? So that is the Tornado EMP was already dropped. They're going to try to kill. They are going to kill a Witch Doctor for sure. So I'm not going to watch that. Lich is quite low as well. Face boots, and I just almost choked, man. And face boots going on the Lich, but Shaker is going to just be able to defend that, and that's going to be a-okay. But tower did go down for the Sentinel at the bot lane, so I'm not too sure whether I like the Scythe's decision making. Yes, they would have lost the tower there, but I think it's good to exchange for this tower in the mid lane. As a consequence, they're going to get that tower denied as well. Lich goes down as well, so I mean, they lost out on 1,000 gold, and then yes, they defended that as well. But I think if they push down these 2 towers, this one was pushed down by creeps or Yamate, and then they lost this one, both teams would just TP back. But because of how the creep equilibriums work, you would have the creeps here, and then the creeps here, and then the creeps around here. So you could actually just go for the Roche, because the creeps are so pushed. And that's why I'm not so much liking it. Yes, that is 4 blinks. 4 blinks on Scourge. They're definitely going to go for a very high mobility team. But Blink Daggers, yes, it's a very good mobility item, very good for ganking, very good for chasing. You can see that they chased the Sven all the way there. They chased the Venge. That's what got themselves a couple of extra kills. But it's just whether you need it or not. I mean, ooh, Sven, he has his Blink Dagger as well, cancels it, and Tinker goes down. And wow, Sven just kind of outdo my expectation, if you will. I mean, again, you don't expect the Sven to do anything outside the lane. You just expect him to give you some nice early game roaming, expect him to do quite a bit of stunning action in the early game. Mid game, he's kind of a cannon fodder. You go in, stun, draw fire, and then hope for the best. But no, this Sven is like, I could do DPSO as well. Already have the Blink Dagger and BKB finish, and it won't be surprising me at all if he either goes into an MKB, excuse me, a Mask of Madness, or a AC or anything like that. If this game's gonna go 80-minute game, as I suggested earlier, you know, this man could be dealing quite a bit of DPS as well. But meanwhile, here Anti-Mage going for a very smart item, going for the MKB. Normally, I guess the standard Anti-Mage build is going to go for the Butterfly, of course. Butterfly enhancing the you know, armor, the dodge, the evasion, everything like that. And actually Invoker, oh no, Invoker, you're going to go down. Do you have Ghostwalk Invoke? He does go for the Cyclone, but there's no way he's going to live that. Yeah, looks like Yamate picks up a kill there. But mid push is going to go on. Tower is going to be picked down by the Deuce. The Deuce is so very stacked right now. Butterfly flinch. And this Butterfly is targeted by that Yamate's MKB. That's why I said that was a smart item choice, because there's a Dusa on the other team. It looks like Dusa's just backdoor this tower. That's 2 extra tower. That's around 1,000 extra gold being picked up by the Gorgon. Gorgon sitting at 2k gold right now. Let's see, do a creep and gold check. Man, this game just so action packed. 161 creeps. 106 creeps on the Sven. That's why he was allowed to pick up the BKB. Invoker actually not as much farm as I expect, because he's going for more of the utility. Only 133. Has a eel stick. I think he's going to go for Aga next, probably, but it won't surprise me at all if he skips it and go for the Hex. Puck is going to have 89 creep kill with the Blink and an Ultimate Orb, going for that Hex as well. Deuce at 350 creep kills, and going for a Scotty, very tank heavy build, very strong endurance, especially against the Anti-Mage. You want as much stuff, mana, HP, armor, strength, anything. You just want as much stuff as you can get. And looks like Vengeance walks all the way in. Blink Dream Coil going in. They're going to try to focus down on Yamate before he picks it up. No, they're not going to pick it up. Just like Yamate is going to focus down on the Roshan. They are going to get the Roshan swap. whatever that spell is. Chain Frost goes down. Looks like the Dusa is going to DPS the Anti-Mage down, and Shaker goes down as well, but Blink Dagger is going to go for the Venge. Venge is going to go down as well. His teammate just deserted him, realized that no, they're not. There's just going to be too many reinforcing heroes for the Scourge, and that is going to be it. But I think the Sentinel definitely came out in exchange for that. They killed the Anti-Mage ones. I mean, yes, he got the Roshan, so that's kind of like a mute point. Basically, they just denied the Aegis, but the most important part is that they wasted a charge on the BKB. Like I said, charges on BKB are precious as gold. And if you could get the anti-mage waste charges like that, that is just huge. Especially not for like any, I mean, Roshan battles are kind of big, but not as big as, you know, Rax battles. So later on, if there's a big Rax battle, one second could decide a lot of stuff. So I think definitely, especially when Dusa picked up an extra kill or two, definitely in the favor of the Sentinel right now. Dusa is at 600 gold, no, 1,400 gold. Now, one thing about Dusa, if I was in Dusa's position, I would definitely save her buyback gold. I mean, it's good for going for Scotty, but always save at least, you know, 2K for buyback, because you never know. You know, Dusa is a very strong force in the team fight, but if, let's say, you're out of position, or if you get team jumped upon by the 4 Blink Dagger, then, you know, if you can't buy back, that's all your farm going to waste if you're just gonna get Raxed and thrown at that point. So you gotta keep in mind that the Scourge team extremely high in the DPS. The Marching Machine can mow down creep wave. Really smart item choice. Pick up the Ghost Staff. Yes, the Sentinel does have the kind of the spell damage, but right now Sentinel is becoming increasingly more physical, as we see the Sven BKB, as we see the Dusa and whatnot. So the Sentinel is very physical dependent as this game goes on longer and longer. So and Ghost Staff is just going to be a very strong point in terms of making that Tinker survive, and that Tinker needs to survive. He is the team right now. Aside from the I feel like he's even more important than the Anti-Mage, because it looks like we're gonna have a Blink Initiation. EMP Tornado is just so annoying. That is like half your mana right now. Blink Dagger goes in. He does have the Hex though. Who is gonna Hex? He needs to Hex the Puck. Puck trying to get out. Is he gonna get out? No. Puck is just gonna stay where he is. I think he does not have the phase. He is. Oh, he just blinks out. Putting on the juke party. He is going to teleport out. Yes, he is going to teleport out. Really well played, being surrounded by 5. But using phase, Blink Dagger, Illusory Orb, just juking everyone out, and he is going to be a-okay. Even blinking into the hero pit and then getting out. But it looks like Dusa continue to free farm here. Let's see what is her gold. I don't want her to sneak up, and she's at 3,000 gold, so that is almost to her around 700 more gold to buy her Scotty outright. But I won't recommend buying a Scotty outright, of course, again, because of the buyback nature I was talking about. You are your team. I mean, of course, Sven is there, of course, Invoker is there, but really the backbone of this team right now is that Gorgon. So Gorgon really needs to save buyback. It would surprise me very much so if she doesn't. So let's see though. Let's see if he could break that Yamante record. 520 creep kills in 55 minutes. It doesn't look like it because he's still quite short. But as Dusa, you can pick up quite a bit of creep kills. You could just push a lane, TP to another lane, and then just push all over again. And you definitely get way more than, you know, 10, 12 creep kills a minute. You get like, I don't know, 15 a minute. That's insane. Looks like we're gonna see some kind of skirmish. Both teams only have one remaining exterior tower, but these towers are kind of more or less just big wards on the just a big teleportation device on the map right now. You don't expect those towers to do too much of anything other than just give out gold. So both teams kind of don't really care if they lose these towers, especially these ones, because they're not even close to the Roshan area or any important point in the map. So it's no big deal if either team loses it, but it's worth 2,000 gold. So that's like only kind of the big important thing. Anti-Mage, my god, I mean, I really need to check out more farm. Yeah, that is one of the constructive criticism I get. I really need to keep checking on farm, because really Yamante just sneaked up on creep kills. He's at 350 right now. You gotta keep in mind that Dusa was ahead quite a bit. No, Dusa is up to 400 now. I swear she was just said something, but it looks like Heart finish on Anti-Mage instead of Butterfly. Quite interesting horse. It looks like Anti-Mage is gonna just do a lot of DPS on the tower. Meanwhile, Dusa is gonna try to pick off the tower. Dusa have the Scotty as well, and we're gonna see a lot of teleportation going on. Glyph is pop. It looks like they're gonna try to kill the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is gonna have pop as BKB. Anti-Mage doesn't care about anything right now. He just blinks out. 400 mana being drained. They really need to kill these Glaive Throwers. Glaive Throwers owning your Raxes. Oh, come on. Come on. Tower is going to be denied, or they're going to leave it up. No, okay. They're going to leave it up. That's fine. Do some meanwhile, push the top tower, and then try to push the Rax, but then just teleport support coming back in. So I think in that exchange, a tower for a tower. Yeah, this is the tower. A tower for a tower. It's an okay exchange, especially if Yamate got a lot of free farm room. But a very interesting choice, going for the heart instead of the butterfly. I would think against a very physically DPS team, Butterfly is definitely good because you know HP is one thing and regen is one thing, but just having having a dodge, 30% evasion is just a lot better in my opinion. So that's just what I think. But we'll see though. But maybe he felt like because he did not get the Vanguard, a little extra HP does not hurt. So, which is a valid choice. I mean. It's not like if he got Butterfly, he would just win the game, or if he got the heart, he would just lose the game. It's not anything like that. So, I'm just a little bit worried for Yamate. I don't think he does enough DPS right now. Butterfly will give you that DPS. I just feel like Heart won't. I mean, Heart doesn't, and you really need so much DPS right now to kill that. I don't even think the Sentinel, the Scourge could kill the Dusa like 5v1. Like they gotta just throw out every single stun, every single right click on that Dusa. But you know, sadly, it's not a 5v1 situation. The Dusa is gonna have his teammate, so. We'll see. Let's see what Dusa is going to go for next. He does have the Skage finish. In this position, I will A, save for buyback, and B, go for the BOT. Oh, as we see, oh, Tornado! Oh no, Tornado just missing, but they did waste a Dream Core, so that's okay, I guess. But Dream Core is what, 80-second cooldown? Quite low cooldown. So Roshan is going to be spawning soon, so you gotta keep in mind when you're casting these ults, especially even if they're short cooldown. I mean, if Roshan, let's say Roshan spawned right now, then that Dream Core would have been huge if he didn't get anything out of it, which he didn't. So the Scourge is content to farm. Let's see with any kind of big item progression. Lich going for the Aga stick, kind of late to be really effective Aga stick in my opinion. Shaker going for the Aga. No, I saw a point booster on him earlier. Maybe he dropped it in for the sake of a Ghost Staff. Ghost Staff definitely very important, like I said, against this physically DPS team. But anyways, yeah, on the Dusa, I would go for A, buyback, and B, a BOT. You could drop your teleportation scrolls, free up yourself an inventory, which is going to be very important in the, I guess, the late stage of the game. You really need every inventory spot you could get. And also, BOT is just nice. It's just nice to accelerate the farm. You could teleport to here instead of teleporting here and then walking all the way to your base tower. Also, let's say your team is getting ganked, you teleport in and to help out. So that's what I would do. Let's see what he is going to be doing though. 4k go on the Dusa. Man, these goals are skyrocketing. 2k go on the anti-mage. I think maybe their plan is, I mean, 20 minutes ago I said hi they should have just pushed, but right now I think they're gonna wait for a stacked out anti-mage. Once the anti-mage finishes that butterfly, then they will go push. Again, it won't be a it will surprise me, but it won't be 100% impossible if the anti-mage go for Ethereal Blade, because that is quite a bit of agility on that mofo. Let me see how much you like around 100 something agility, but probably not because the Ethereal Blade has been nerfed. Yes, we are going to see the power of the Dusa. Just gonna stand there, right click your Rax. I don't care your tower's focusing. It means missing. There we go. Initiation. BKB's pop. Dodging the initial Matt Sven is not going to be okay. Oh my god, Chain Frost is actually bad though. A lot of creeps there. And Dusa is just going to tank the initial barrage. There we go. There is a Hex. There is a cast on it as well. And there is a Maledict. Oh no. Oh yeah, they're going to chain stun. Dusa taking quite a bit of damage. And no Manta Style. Is there going to be a Manta Style on the Anti-Mage? Anti-Mage is going to go down. No, he blinks out. And that heart now comes in the handy of regen. That is the benefit of the heart. If you do survive, you can regen a lot quicker than you normally can. But Dusa at half HP, almost out of mana, But at the very least, I think Dusa can and will be able to pick out this tower. Sentinel came, got the tower. They are going to go back. They got what they wanted, which was the tower. It's really unlikely they can get anything more than that. And it looks like these guys are going for the chase. No, they're not going to get anyone, and that's pretty big for the Sentinel. It looks like the Sentinel did lose the tower in the process, but that's nothing in comparison to taking down the mid tower and doing some little bit of damage to that crypt. And that's why I don't think the Sentinel team could. The Scourge team, excuse me, could go late game against the Dusa. Dusa could he was just standing up the hill and then hitting a tower. He doesn't care that he's in front of his entire team. If in fact he wanted to be in front of his entire team, because there's really no way the Scourge could DPS him down. You saw that Anti-Mage was right clicking. They drop an Echo Slam on him. They drop Fissures. They drop Cast, Maledicts, everything, but it just was not enough. And fortunately for the Sentinel, creeps were pushed out extremely quickly, and there is going to be Aegis being picked up probably by the Anti-Mage. He is going to need a slot, so that's quite interesting. I wonder what he's going to drop though, or maybe he's not even going to pick it up at all. It's quite interesting. We'll see though. Invoker is trying to come around for the delay. Tinker blinks in. A lot of spells being dropped on Cold Snap. There we go. Dream Core goes on, and there is a Self Cyclone. BKB being blocked by the Storm, but really well done. And actually, the Tinker goes down. Void on the puck goes down as well. Chain Frost being dropped, not too much effect, and Sven goes down as well. Dusa in the background though, he's gonna try to DPS. Maledict is on him. Let's see if there's a lot of damage being put on Dusa, but no, it doesn't. Like Dusa, Maledict doesn't matter. He's just mowing down everyone. He's gonna pick off the Lich, and I think Witch Doctor barely survived that as well. And actually, that Roshan is not going to be alive. Buyback from the puck, and looks like is going to be okay. No, he is going to pop his Gold Staff. He is going to have Blink on cooldown. Yes, Shaker is going to be okay. Yamate comes back in. Again, Roshan very low HP, and he's actually scaring the Dusa away. But no, looks like they're going to go for a push. Very interesting. I'm not too sure whether they can. Dusa should be able, with the hill advantage, defend it. Pug is still here. Pug is going to be okay. Is going to blink out. Oh, there's going to be a Hex. That is huge. You got to keep in mind, no one is surviving on the Sentinel. They actually lost everyone. Actually, Dusa by herself just doing so much damage. And actually, no Anti-Mage is going to try to out TPS. No, Anti-Mage gotta blink out, and that was a little bit of unfortunate for the Sentinel team, losing everyone. I think the Invoker was forced to buy back, and actually a Cyclone, blink coming from the Tinker, and a 4-staff on the Tinker as well. I really love this Tinker build, going for a very mobility. Realize that all he is right now is just a chain hexing hero, chain laser hero, and then chain whatever. He's gonna just cast like crazy, and then just get out, and then come back in with full mana, and then cast like crazy again. So all these utility items on Tinker is gonna be very effective and very helpful. But going back to that, they're gonna go for the Roshan steal as well. I call this a steal because the team fight was very even. Who's gonna pick up this Aegis though? Who is gonna pick up this Aegis? I think they're gonna leave it for the Tinker. Yeah, they're leaving it for the Tinker. What did Tinker drop? Tinker dropped the 4-staff, which interesting. I mean, I think I would have dropped the Soul Ring. I mean, yes, Soul Ring will allow you to cast a couple more stuff, but having extra mana would also allow you to cast more stuff. And 4-staff is just good to have. It's always good to have 4-staff, so it's very interesting that gave the Aegis to the Tinker, which makes sense because Tinker, if you run out of mana, you could basically just suicide, like you can run into them and then make them focus you, and then they kill you, come back with full mana. You have a Ghost Staff, you have Blink Dagger, so you should, in theory, be okay. So that's not a bad choice, especially if your Anti-Mage is fully stacked. Yes, he's 6 inventorily stacked. I mean, like, I don't even know what you do to this. Yes, you sell your BKB and you buy a new one. I said this in my last commentary. You should definitely, Yamate should definitely do that. If you have enough buyback gold, just if you have 4k gold, that's what you should always do. Because the BKB buyback, I mean, the buyback costs around 2,000 gold. The BKB, if you sell your old one and you buy a new one, that costs 2k gold as well. So then that's gonna be okay, and you'll have a 10-second BKB, and that's pretty big, especially against Invoker, Puck, all that stuff. Both teams farming, just farming. It's okay. Both teams farming. Another Smoke of Deceit usage, but they're standing right on top of a ward that is like as face palm as it gets. So Dusa might get initiated upon though. Let's see if they're gonna come in. There's gonna be a Blink Dagger initiation going on. Shaker comes in and trying to focus on the Invoker. Invoker very low. Invoker might be going down. No, dodges the Chain Frost with the Cyclone. They're gonna try to focus down on a Sharky goes down. That was the Lich. Yeah, that was the Lich. It looks like I don't know what the hell's going on right now. Shaker might be in trouble. Shaker is being surrounded by 3 or 4 heroes, and Witch Doctor goes down. But these are not really important heroes, and they are gonna focus down the Shaker. And that was a ooh, he drops the O, but I don't think he could blink out. No, the blink is gonna be canceled, and that is gonna be a 5v2 in the next couple of minutes. In the next minute or so, Sentinel is gonna mount a huge push right now, and I don't think Scourge could do anything about it right now. That team fight was just a little bit too scattered. They got ganked by the Dust, proving to be very, very effective, despite them standing under the Sentry. You gotta keep in mind that yes, they were under the Sentry Ward, but they won't show on the minimap. So unless one of the Scourge player was looking here, you know, by coincidence, they wouldn't see the entire smoke team just running at them. And that Blink Dagger Sven was the. I mean, you can see that both Dusa and the Anti-Mage are so stacked. I think they're all stacked 6 inventory. Oh my god, Divine Rapier! Hello! Man, I need to check out more. I think I really need to check out more, because the Divine Rapier was snuck up. He didn't go for the BLT, but just go for the straight Divine. He still have 5,000 gold in the bank though, so it doesn't matter. And I think this is Rax time. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Anti-Mage. He's gonna try to. Superman is gonna try to. A lot of. Oh my god, if they get Divine though, that is huge. If they get the Divine, swaps the Dusa out, but there's a Maledict on him still, and they are gonna kill. Who's gonna drop it? Oh, Vengeance is gonna try to pick it up. Who is gonna pick it up? That Divine is on the ground. Who picks it up? Where the fuck is? Okay. Oh, it's still on the ground. I was gonna say, who's gonna pick it up? Who's gonna pick it up? I think AM should pick it up. AM just dropping Battle Fury, because Battle Fury is what? Plus 65. Divine's like plus, you know, 250. Of course, it's no cleave, but who cares about cleave? But no, actually, they're not gonna pick it up. Very smart. That's actually a pretty smart choice. Oh no, they pick it up. Okay, was that Necro? Oh, okay, this is not a smart choice. This is just not a smart choice. Yes, I know Yamate, you value your Battle Fury, but I don't know, man. This game just got a hella interesting. This game just got very, very interesting. Lich with the Divine Rapier. I mean, it's definitely not on the Anti-Mage. I think on the Anti-Mage it might have been GG. But Lich actually now will do quite a bit of DPS. He will just right-click the racks. He will just right-click the throne. And Dusa, I mean, he's a Superman, but can he... A Superwoman, but can he handle 4? There's a Hex, there's a Focus Fire, and they're going to focus down on MUFC. MUFC, the Dusa is going to get Chain Hex to death. Oh my god. This is the start of a comeback. And Yamate's got like... I can't believe I'm saying this. Scythe is gonna win. They're gonna pick the mid racks, and then they're gonna swing down to bot racks, and that is gonna be game over. I gotta say that Divine Rapier was just a little bit too cocky for the Scourge, for the Sentinel, excuse me. They had the entire game in their bag. They had it in the bag. They definitely had it in the bag. Without the Divine Rapier loss, well, I'll talk about that later as we see Sven actually doing quite a bit of damage. They are going to focus down on the Anti-Mage. Maybe am I calling this too soon? Maybe I am calling this too soon. As we see Puck trying to kill the Anti-Mage. He's not going to be able to do it with the evasion, with the armor. And I think a lot of wards being dropped both by Roy. Okay. Both of them by Roy at the same time. Okay, that's cool too. But excuse me. Yeah, Anti-Mage will be able to come back in. Ooh. Sorry, I was not watching that, but they were chasing Yamate. Yamate dies, but buys back. BLT's back in, so MP, right? He has BLT. Yeah, he does have BLT. So they're gonna not let up the pressure. And yeah, I was half blaming the Dusa for dying and then losing the Divine Rapier, but really, I don't think it's Divine Rapier what turned it back for Scourge. I mean, even if the Scourge did not have the Divine Rapier, they would have still pushed back the entire Sentinel team, and then they would still kind of just rape. So yeah, it's not the Divine, as we see Scourge just Rax one more hit. They're gonna focus down on the Sven, and the Sven is gonna go down, and the Rax is gonna go down, and GG should be called relatively soon. And there's really no way Deuce or not. Yamate just found farming right now, going for. Oh no, Yamate. No, Yamate is gonna be A-okay. He will have the heart regen. Deuce spawns back. But that's the game. There's really no way. Really good comeback victory though. Again, it's not. Sentinel did not lose the game because they bought the Divine. I mean, that certainly played a role in it, but that's not the primary role. That's the reason they lost. I think it's more or less the kind of positioning. Dusa was a little bit too far ahead without too much teammate support. There was absolutely chain hex going on the Dusa without any silences, without any EMP tornadoes, without anything to disrupt that. And Dusa, yes, she can tank a lot, but not under constant you know, anti-mage DPS, and then under constant hexes. That was literally almost a 1v5 fight. And Dusa, I mean, despite however tank she is, it's not going to be able to tank all that. Yeah, chain hex is just going on the Dusa. So, I mean, we are seeing the Dusa and the anti-mage farming up so well, but I think the true DPS of this game is the Tinker and the Sven. Yeah, Tinker for the Scourge and Sven for the Sentinel. Sven is what gave the Sentinel team a lead in the first place. Yes, you will expect Dusa to get Mega Farm, and you will expect Anti-Mage to get Mega Farm, but the utility of both the Sven, one in the straight DPS and the other one in just straight disable, was what kind of gave both teams, the respective team, the edge. And I mean, this game is drawing to a conclusion, but Scourge, Sentinel is just defending kind of for pride, kind of they threw the game away. And you can see that, yes, in this late stage of the game, one big team fight can change the game. And this is not a very exciting game, but it's just an eye-opening game in that regard. It's not like a 5-minute Roshan team fight between Navi and MYM, but it's just, you know, you can see Dota could swing so quickly. I was getting ready to call a GG for Scourge because I thought that would have been it. We saw Dusa in the mid game just pushing against the tower, and there was really nothing the Sentinel could do, nothing the Scourge could do, because Dusa was just tanking too much. But Yamate just like, whatever, I am Yamate. Farming is my middle name, and I farm so hard. I don't even need a divine. I gave it to the Lich. I gave it to my support DPS Lich. And I guess if you have a divine rapier, the Vanguard is not going to be so bad. So maybe the next time you go in a Lich build and someone calls you out on it, just said, no, I'm gonna get a divine. You know, someone's gonna drop a divine for me 50 minutes later in the game, so it's gonna be okay. So don't worry about it. So I guess a well-played game for Scourge. I mean, I definitely is going to go back and watch that last team fight, exactly see how Dusa was so out of position. It felt like everything's going to be okay. I mean, usually when you have such a stacked Dusa, you kind of just A-move your way in. I guess she just didn't A-move her way in with her teammate. And now, like, Dusa, I mean, Tinker Dare Blade, whatever. Like, Tinker's so stacked right now. She's all these items, and actually selling the Soul Ring and the Force Staff. So... And I mean, I think I haven't seen again Invoker no ice walls. I think this is what lost on the game. If they drop an ice wall in that anti-mage, that's gonna be huge. Like, that's a huge factor. I don't know why. These are professional players. They should know ice wall is probably Invoker's best spell. It's not flashy. It's not like a meteor. It's not an EMP tornado. But it's his best spell, especially in competitive play where BKB, where, you know, all these stuff. Like, if you just slow them for 4 seconds, where they can't move as slow as a snail, that is just GG. So the lack of ice walls in pro games. Maybe if he cast it once or twice and I missed it, I apologize. But he should be invoking that in every single team fight, especially if he went for a Quas heavy build. I mean, if you go for Exhort heavy build, then I could kind of understand. But no, like, ice wall is your best spell. It's Invoker's best spell. So it's a basically AOE disable, and not casting that is just an insult to as an Invoker. But again, you know, this Invoker player, Red Sun, a lot better than I am. Toby-Wan Kenobi, just saving for the fun of it. The game's quite over. I'm sure when he was live streaming it, he was calling this game is over. I'm calling this game's over. But you don't know. Dota, random shit could happen in Dota, like that big ass fight here. We might see an amazing comeback from Dusa. Don't count on it though. Don't count on it. As we said, actually, Dusa is the one that is picking up a Ghost Scepter, realizing that he's being out DPS by the Anti-Mage. Man, Anti-Mage is stacked right now. He's not buying anything. He's at 8k gold. He's going for the over 9,000 gold. Then we're going to see some bling hexing action going on Dusa. Oh, they're going to go in Anti-Mage. Pop your BKB. Is that a new BKB? No, that's not a BKB. Yamate, I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. If you have 8k gold, sell your damn BKB and buy a new one. Really? I mean, really, right? But I don't think the game will be decided in any other way, like in any way. Doesn't matter if he sells their buy. But there we go. Deafening Blast and Tornado, you know, standard combo, but no Ice Wall, no Ice Wall. Yamate's using regen from the heart, picks up the cheese. Is he picking up the cheese? Yeah, he's picking up the cheese, and then he's gonna be full, and he's gonna go right back in for the Dusa. Dusa is, oh my god, OT dropping off, and man, he's gonna be okay though, but he does not have any mana. And actually, Sharky calling out the haha. I'm not too sure whether that's Batman or not. Ghostwalk being casted, actually slowing down quite a bit, but it doesn't matter right now. The game's over. The game's over. Call it GG. Now they're gonna fight. Very intense action. Dodging though. No, he did dodge it. No, he did not dodge it. He looked like he almost dodged it. And they're gonna try to kill off the Dusa. Dusa gets swapped as well, and he's gonna be okay. But this Sven finally is gonna get out DPS. Yamate calls a GG for the other team, and finally the other team calling in GG as well. So this is definitely a GG. Not the most exciting game, of course, but a very different game, because we don't see a Divine Rapier Dusa losing. I've never seen that in a competitive game, because generally when you get a Divine Rapier on Dusa, you're in such an overwhelming lead in the first place. But this game is just a perfect showcase of positioning. You can be in the lead, yes, Scourge was in, Sentinel was in the lead. You can be ahead in the items, yes, Dusa was so stacked, he was such ahead in items. But if you're out of position, it doesn't matter if you have a Divine Rapier, it doesn't matter if you're stacked out Dusa with 6 full inventories, it doesn't matter. If you're out of position, you lose the game. That's how Dota is, and I guess that is, you could call it a flaw, but you could also call it the beauty of Dota. It doesn't matter how stacked the other team is, you can come back with a magical team fight. Scourge won a team fight in the middle of their base, or in front of their base, came back straight in and then just choked the racks so very easily. Anti-Mage did not even pick up the Divine Rapier. Didn't need it. Just gave it to the Lich. And did the Lich even die once? No, the Lich still has it. So yeah, Lich. I mean Vanguard, right? Vanguard Divine, right? You got a shield, you got a sword. Might as well go some pew pew laser stuff. So really well played. Just a little bit out of position. Made it a little bit of an anticlimactic game, but Alright, let's do some of the endgame analysis. I do apologize for the lack of creep and gold check. All these items are popping out with Scotties, popping out with Divines and Finish Butterflies and Hearts, and they were all surprising me. I should try my best to be a little bit on top of that, but if you look at the CS, 634 CS on Dusa. I don't think he beat ZSMJ's 520 in the 55 minutes. CS, but this is a lot of CS. And then 570 CS on the Anti-Mage, 386 on the Tinker. But the item choices for this game was just quite eye-opening here, right? First the Blink Dagger and the Lich. I'm not too sure what it needed. It was effective in chasing down a couple of kills, but overall it did not affect the grand scheme of things. Vanguard first, I'm not too sure whether that was like all these item choices were not what won the Scythe the game. If I was playing on the Sentinel right now, I would be really pissed because Scythe did not win this game. Like no, like on the scoreboard they won the game, but they didn't win the game. If you know what I'm saying, it's a very metaphorical, very Confucius statement. Scythe did not win the game. MUFC gave Scythe the game. Does that make sense? Scythe did not win because Scythe, like they were being outplayed to the mid stage of the game until that push. Like they were gonna lose. MUFC just handed the victory to Scythe. They were so horribly out of position. They dropped a Divine and then just got pushed. These guys did not have buyback. Dusa had buyback, but the teammate didn't have buyback, and that was it. So that was kind of a misplay from the MUFC. So even though Scythe played well, they got really good item choices. Well, not this one. I don't agree with the Lich item choices. Yamate, I guess that's okay. I would have still gone for the Vanguard first because he died, 4 or 5 times before he even went for his BKB. But it was effective as a DPS build in the late game. High, definitely MVP. Definitely what carried them in the game, kept them in the game. Especially what turned the game around was this continued hexing on that Dusa. High is definitely an MVP for this game. So Scythe didn't play exceptionally too well, didn't play a perfect game, but they won. I guess what victory is what counts at the end. Meanwhile, the Sentinel, a little bit disappointing. Dusa very out of position. This Venge the swap a lot sooner. I think Venge swapped the Dusa when Medusa's like half dead, no mana, under like 5 seconds of focus fire on the anti-mage. That was just a little bit too late. So that was a little bit of poor play. But overall, I think Sentinel played pretty well. Another Invoker player that disappoints me. I'm pretty sure Westland probably like twice, 5 times, 10 times the player than I am, but man, you gotta drop your Ice Wall. You gotta drop your Ice Wall. And I thought Invoker was gonna be a good factor in this game because he gone for a very utility build, and we don't really see utility Invokers that often. So I thought he was gonna show me, you know, some spectacular Invoker play, but he's just gone for the Pipe afterwards, and Pipe is not gonna cut it against an anti-mage, right? You need to go Force Staff. Seriously, Force Staff is such a good item. I would buy that item even if it's a 3k gold. Like, if Medusa's getting focus, Force Staff him out. And so what anti-mage needs to do, he has to blink one more time, and then you can focus on it. It's just so many items that the Sentinel could do, so many different things that the Sentinel could do. You counter this melee agility carry, counter things like PA, anti-mage, just so many things you could do as an Invoker, but none of it was done. And I was very, very disappointed about that. But regardless, a very, very fun game to cast. Well, not fun in terms of it was really high in action, but it was very tide turning. And you definitely don't see so many of these games in Dota. So I hope you guys enjoyed that commentary. Still a little bit sick, and this was a very, very long game. Very low kill count as well, a lot of farming. But I hope I said something that was a little bit helpful in terms of learning, in terms of what to do in certain situations, especially countering melee carries, especially being out of position and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that commentary, and that's it from me. This is my 99. Yes, this is my 99 commentary. Do expect something fun. Well, I hope it will be fun in my 100 commentary. I won't tell you guys what it is till it, so just wait for it. It will be out. And until then, until next time, this is Luminous signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed that. GG.